I'm Clint, you're on Motorcycle Monkey, and this is Brett from El Cajon Harley Davidson, general manager and part owner, yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Brett, what are we riding today?
Today we're riding a 2018 Fat Boy 114.
The Fat Boy, now there's some changes in the Softails in the Harley Davidson line of Softails. What are the differences?
Changes would be an understatement. Bike's totally different, frame, motor, everything's changed. They got the Milwaukee-eight in it, dropped it in a totally different frame that's extremely more rigid. This is a little bit different than the Milwaukee-eights that came out on the baggers last year. This one's dual counterbalance, so they allowed them to rigid mount it in the frame, which creates a totally more rigid chassis. And they took the Softail shocks, they moved it up to a mono shock that's under the seat now, which is totally different than traditional frame.
Does that provide for a smoother ride?
It does, but it also adds to cornering rigidity and a little bit more travel in the suspension, allows a lot more easy use, and the bike's got way better cornering clearance. You'll see when we go ride them, it doesn't ride like any other Harley you've ever ridden. They actually increased the size of the front tire, and increased the size of the rear tire, so it made it look a lot more muscular. And they changed it to this new rim, which is a solid disc wheel. The bike looks absolutely phenomenal. Comes with full floating rotors, front and rear, which is different than the previous year models. It's also got hand adjustable preload on your rear suspension, which is a change. The old shocks weren't adjustable at all, and if you really wanted to, it was next to impossible to get it done. The bike rides phenomenal. They also changed the styling cues of this motor. They put some matte finishes on it, some satin finishes that really make the motor look muscular, and they raised the tank. They wanted to show more of the valve covers because this motor looks very muscular, and they really wanted to incorporate that into the design of the bike because the motor is the heart of the vehicle, and it really, really stands out. It makes this thing look like no other Harley ever.
I'm a little older than Brett, so I'm gonna tell you the word he's looking for is bitchin'. These bikes are bitchin'. And it was time to take the Fat Boy out on the road through Dehesa Valley to show you what the curves look like on a bike like this. And by the way, when I mention Fat Boy, I'm talking about the bike. Thank you very much. After riding through Dehesa Valley and the back roads for about 15 to 20 miles, we decided to head back out the 8 West into El Cajon so that we could not only feel what the bike's like on the freeway for some miles, but to show you what the bike looks like from all the different angles. Let's face it, do you care what the performance and the specs are like if you don't like the way a bike looks? So check this bad boy out for just a minute. It is beautiful. Brett, thanks for letting me take that Fat Boy up, man. That is a badass bike.
Hey, no problem. Anytime, Clint.
All right.
Good time. Good ride.
Yeah, it was, and thank you for that again. Now listen, I'm going to tell you the 2018 Fat Boy with a 114 motor, the Milwaukee-eight, super responsive, tons of power, low to the ground for guys with short legs like me. So if that's an issue that you have, you might want to look into that. I would say it's one of my favorite looking bikes in Harley. Do you have a favorite?
As far as looks go, that's the bike for me. I think that's the toughest looking bike on the showroom, man. I love that thing to death.
You got to take a test ride on one. I'm telling you, it is absolutely a fun bike to ride. And how can folks do that?
Come down, El Cajon Harley, test rides every day, anytime you want. Just come down. If you haven't ridden a new Milwaukee-eight in either a bagger or in the new Softail lineup, you really got to come check it out. So come see us right here.
And please remember to subscribe to Motorcycle Monkey on YouTube, tell your friends, and check out motorcyclemonkey.com for upcoming events. Ride safely.